All right, welcome back to Turbo Garage. So today, some Mach 1 content. We're going to be doing an oil change on this thing, a little bit of a different way, which I hope makes it cleaner. And like I said in the other video, I'm going to be taking these wheels off. I got some new tires in the back I'm going to throw on, and also going to ceramic coat these wheels to try to keep the dust and rubber debris off of them. So let's get to it, and I'll show you what I think is going to make this easier. All right, let's start by pulling this car cover back. Man, I forgot how beautiful this car is. Man, I'm lucky. All right, so anybody who's changed the oil on a Mach 1 knows it sucks. And that was my clue. I thought, you know what? That's it. I'm gonna suck the oil out of the engine. So I went on to Amazon. I bought myself a very thin tube. This is 4.5 millimeter diameter tube. And I'm gonna put it down the dipstick hole and suck the engine out using the vacuum pump that I used to use when I changed the oil on my boat when I had a boat. It's been sitting around, and I don't know why I didn't think of this, but yeah, changing the oil on the newer Mustangs, if you haven't done it already, the drain plug is on the side of the oil pan, and it shoots out on the Mach 1 10 liters of oil all over the place. Because the oil's pretty thin, it just comes out like a geyser. So with that said, let's see if we can suck this oil out of this engine. All right, let's pull this dipstick out here, and wipe this off here. Take my little vacuum tube and stick it down the dipstick hole here until it hits the bottom right there. Now I'll get my little vacuum thing and we'll start sucking the oil out. All right, got this all hooked up. Let's see if it starts sucking up oil. Oh, there we go. It wasn't all the way down. Now I think we're down there. Oh yeah, it's coming up. It's a small tube, so you know, it's not going to be a quick process, but because the dipstick is so small in diameter, you have to get a very small tube. I tried my other tube that I had that came with this vacuum pump, and it wouldn't go into the bottom of the pan. This one does, and yeah, it's working. It's sucking the oil, but I mean, you just pull a vacuum on your pump, basically walk away for a while, and let this thing do its thing. But you know what? If you've got time, this is going to make it cleaner. So I'll just go ahead and let this suck. Okay, so that's got all the oil sucked out of the engine. So the next thing I'm going to do is jack this thing up. I got to actually pull the front tires off because I'm going to get those swapped with new rubber, and then we'll look at pulling the oil filter. And more importantly, see how much oil is left in the engine when I pull that plug out the bottom. All right, it is time to see how much oil is in this pan. I can't remember how you get this thing off of here. I had to bend these tabs or something. I thought I could do it. Oh, there we go. I do it with my hands. Okay, let's see how much came out. Come on. Wow. That's pretty good. For all intents and purposes, that got all the oil out of the engine. I honestly didn't think it would do quite that well. That's pretty impressive. So anyway, I let this drain for a few minutes here, and then we're going to tackle the dreaded oil filter. My plan is to just crack this loose and let it run down the oil filter and drip off the end, because that will clear the wiring harness and everything that's down here. Let that drip until it stops, and then I'm going to get a garbage bag and thread this off the rest of the way and see if I can contain most of that oil. It's probably going to be a right mess, but it's the next best thing as far as I'm concerned. So let's give this a try. All right, I got this loose. I'm just going to crack it the rest of the way here, just a little loose. See, that oil is going to start dripping off the filter here. It's dripping, but not off the filter. No, it's making a mess. I'm tightening it back up. All right, so I've got a rag wrapped around this sort of a cross beam that goes here. I got another rag laying inside the tray, and let's see what happens. This is gonna be a mess, man. I'm not looking forward to it, but anyway, what are you gonna give it a try? I'm gonna wrap this bag around this filter and in behind it as best I can. This is gonna be so bad. Let's see what happens. You never know. Maybe we'll get lucky. Crack that loose. So it should be going right now, dripping inside this bag. Oh yeah, I can see oil inside it. Or is it on the outside of it? Oh man. Oh, I got oil dripping. Oh, Jesus. Oh, what a mess. You know what? The hell with the bag. Let's just... Ford, I hate you. Come on. Come on, there we go. Oh man, what a nightmare. Okay, that didn't work so well. All right, one thing I did read online is that you're not supposed to lubricate the oil filter for the new filter going on because I guess Ford was having a problem. They were vibrating loose. So there's I don't know if you've seen it, but there's an article from Ford basically saying do not lubricate these, put them on dry. So with that said, I'm gonna wipe that surface down a little bit, let the O-ring seats on. That's pretty good. And we'll stick this on. All right, I'll have to wipe that with a rag, get it dried. I've got to try to degrease all this stuff now. Yeah, what a mess. I don't understand why Ford would make this such a... There's got to be a better way. I think if you were on a hoist and you're not laying on your back like I am under jack stands, you could probably do it a little bit better. But yeah, this is just far, far, far from ideal. Okay, so there you go. I've got to go to the store, buy some oil because I got to fill this thing up. I don't have any. But the draining of the oil, sucking that oil out definitely made a huge difference. There was no mess or anything. Just you saw the little dribble came out at the end. It pretty much got all that oil out. But the oil filter, that is not fun. I've got to find a better way to do that. Maybe next time I do the oil, I'll have a better idea. But like I say, it might help having it on a lift and not laying on your back on the ground. Anyway, that said, the next thing I got to do is we're going to be ceramic coating wheels. So these are my replacement tires here that have got just a few 100 kilometers on them. And they're going to be going on here. But I pulled the wheels off and now I'm going to go outside, wash them all up. I'm going to take these weights off and get the wheel totally dry, go over it with some isopropyl alcohol, and then I'm going to be ceramic coating the wheel. All right, I'm going to start by popping these weights off. I just got a little plastic clip. I want to use plastic because I don't want to damage these wheels at all. So that's those ones on the outside. They come off pretty easy. These are the factory weights. So what you're left with after you're getting the weights off is this double-sided tape. I've got a product here that you just spray on. It's label and sticker remover. Just let that soak for a little bit. Do this side here as well. And it'll just basically dissolve the glue. And you can take a little scraper and it'll just scrape it off real easy. That takes care of that. Let's get these outside and get them all washed up. All right, so I've gone over this wheel with some isopropyl alcohol just to get any grease or anything off of it. And now I'm going to use my applicator, apply some diamond coat to this thing, and yeah, then buff it off. So the stuff that I got from a detailer buddy of mine, and it's more like a wax. So you basically let it go on, haze up, and then use a microfiber cloth to remove. It just looks like I might have missed a little spot in there. So you can see quite easily if you miss a spot, it doesn't have a little haze to it. There we go. There's so many little corners in these wheels. They are not easy to do, but I think that's pretty much got it. I use my cloth here and buff it off. All right, so that looks like that wheel is looking pretty good. So the next thing I'll do is actually just inside the rim. I'll just do that off camera, no big deal. That's gonna be super easy. No corners or anything, but I'll get that done. And then the next thing to do is load these up into the truck, take them to the tire shop and get the tires swapped. All right, so the wheels are loaded in the truck. I filled this up with oil, so hey, let's do a cold start. Who doesn't like a cold start? Yep, that's okay. I'll double check it once I get the car on the ground. All right, so with the oil changed, next thing we gotta do is reset our oil light. There you see oil change required. So let's get through this menu. See if I can remember how to do this. Hit my tool button, scroll down, advanced settings, vehicle, scroll down, oil life reset. So that's just using my scroll button, hit OK, and then just hold OK. And there we go. We go back out of here. Vehicle, oil life. There, it's at 100%. There we go. One less thing to do. Okay, so I just got the front brakes bled, topped up the fluid with some Moto 600. The fluid that came out was actually pretty clean, surprisingly, after a couple of track days. I've flushed brakes before out of my old Mustang, and it's pretty dark. So yeah, that's good to see the fluid is pretty clean. So I'm gonna get the wheels put on with the new tires here and then start working on the rears. All right, so I'm gonna bleed the rear brakes now. These ones I expect might be a little bit discolored. As you can see, the tips of the caliper there changed color yellow from orange because they did get very hot. And you can see these brake rotors have got some bad wear patterns. I'm gonna give these rotors one more go on the track, and then I'm probably gonna have to replace these and the pads, but let's see what the brake fluid looks like. Let go, push. All right, that'll do that brake. All right, let's see what this brake fluid looks like. Yeah, it's not too bad. You see that there? I mean, the new stuff is pretty clear. This is a little yellowy, but all in all, not bad. I've had worse. So that's good. Anyway, we'll get that last wheel done, and that'll be all the brakes bled. All right, I got my new-ish tires installed. These are the old ones here. They're not too bad. You know, you look at the new ones, there's a groove here, a third groove on these tires. It is gone. It's pretty close to the wear bar. So I'm gonna sell these used set of tires here. They've probably got one good track day left. So I'm gonna sell those, see if I can sell them. Otherwise, I'll just take them to the scrapyard for nothing. But you know, I'd hate to see them go when they're good for one more track day. Anyway, I'm gonna clean up and ceramic coat these rear wheels. I didn't get to that yet, so that's the next thing I got to do. All right, that's got the last wheel on. Time to torque them down. 150 foot-pounds, all right? Actually, there's one more thing to do. Pop the center caps in. Okay, so that's pretty much going to do it. We got the oil changed, new tires installed, flushed the brake fluid, and did a bit of a brake inspection. So this thing is basically ready to go. It's back into hibernation mode, and in 2 months' time, this thing will be coming out of hibernation, get some insurance on it, start driving it, and more importantly, April the 24th, going to Area 27 in all over BC. That's going to be a great track day. I'm looking forward to it. The oil change, of course, sucking that engine oil out. I've not seen anyone do that on a Mach 1, at least on YouTube. It's slow, but it's definitely clean. The oil filter, however, thoughts and comments on if you've got a better way to do it, because it is a nightmare changing the oil filter on this thing. But that's pretty much going to do it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and looking forward to more Mach 1 content. So thanks a lot for watching, and have yourself a great day.